Welcome again to This Week in Gaming with the Slightly Salted Squad. Thank you for joining us today on August
21st.
21st. Holy shit.
Got you, bro.
August 21st. For episode 39, we'll be talking about being asshats, Stadia surprises, and Sony's latest acquisition. We appreciate you listening, or whether it be live on twitch.tv/SlightlySaltedSquad or later on YouTube or on your favorite podcast network. If you haven't yet, please check us out on Twitter and Instagram for news and updates. And if you want to support us, and who wouldn't, check out those follow and subscribe buttons or check us out on patreon.com/SlightlySaltedSquad. Most importantly, if you want to play with us, make sure you check out our official Discord, which you can link from twitch.tv/SlightlySaltedSquad. That's enough of that. I'm done being John. Instead, I'm Mike at Sregge.
And I'm Deion at Taiko.
Awesome. I don't remember exactly where in the show John plays the news clip. So we're just going to... We did it. It worked. At least my macros work. Okay, so...
Yeah. I'm glad it worked.
Yep, Force Inept is off being awesome, doing something else. So you guys are with us today. So let's get into the news. Starting off with what I'm calling Apocalyptic Apex. So I don't know if you guys have been following it all this week, but there was some forum chatter about the latest Iron Crown event in Apex Legends, where things got just a little bit heated. Developers called players asshats and freeloaders. I was kind of trying to follow the thread initially. I'm part of the Apex Legends subreddit, but things blew up quite a bit. The direct quote was from a Respawn developer, DKO5, who said, quote, "I've been in the industry long enough to remember when players weren't complete asshats to developers, and it was pretty neat. I forged a bunch of long-lasting relationships from back then. Would be awesome to get back there and not engaging with toxic people or asking how high when mob screams jump is hopefully a start." There were other portions of this conversation that went on to again address players as freeloaders with not wanting to pay money. This whole thing sort of evolved from the latest, what are they calling them? Heirlooms, I guess?
Something like that.
Yeah, the latest heirloom artifact item that has come to pass, which is Bloodhound's Axe. Crunching the numbers, it's something like $176 to guarantee that you unlock this axe, which, to be fair, is substantially less than the $500 that it would take to get Wraith's little dagger. The head of Respawn, Vince Zampella, responded on Twitter saying, "On Friday, we gave Apex fans an update on how we were changing the Iron Crown event. Some of the team then joined a discussion with our community on Reddit, and things got a pretty bad place. Some of our folks crossed a line with their comments, and that's not how we want Respawn to be represented. I apologize to any of our fans that were offended. I will always stand behind the team here at Respawn and support them on speaking out against some of the toxic and nasty comments being directed at them, including everything from death threats to comments aimed at their families and loved ones. But we shouldn't contribute to it when we do comment and add to the very thing we want to prevent. We need to lead by example. Last week, we didn't do that, and going forward, we'll be better. Having an open, healthy relationship with our community is incredibly important to us here at Respawn." And I will say, this is one thing that I think Respawn does very well. It is, like I said, I am part of the subreddit community for Apex Legends, and I do think they do a great job participating. But I also feel like there's a little bit of a line here. What do you think, Deion? How do you sort of see this whole situation?
So I really do like the response that Vince posted. I thought it was well said. I think that when you open yourself up to Reddit, you get a lot of things that come out of Reddit. And granted, I'm not advocating people the way that they do talk to developers, because you're dealing with the internet, right? And so the whole, money grabbing fucks and all that shit that people say is directed towards developers that have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into something that they're very passionate about, that are continually trying to improve for these people that are then saying that to them. However, if you are hosting this, thing, or whether it's a Q&A or whatever, you represent your business, and you have to, be able to handle that, and sometimes just, rebuke it the same way that a McDonald's employee handles a disgruntled customer, right? Like there's just this extra thing there. And yeah, the internet is not always right. The customer is not always right, but sometimes you just need to deflect and realize the professionalism of the circumstance. So that's the only thing I think.
I agree, right? The customer is not always right, but they are always the customer. And so there has to be that level of professionalism. And I think that line gets a little blurred sometimes. And it's something that, for the most part, I actually quite support and I quite agree with, right? I think we've talked about this in previous streams, where I love how connected we are nowadays. I love how connected developers are to their audience. You can reach out to them on Twitter. You can reach out to them on Reddit. A lot of them will do, AMAs and do Twitch videos, and like they do all kinds of really cool stuff to connect with their community. But it's almost like, going out for drinks with your boss, and for a moment you kind of forget where you are or what you're doing or what the situation is. At no point, even in joking, should you, I think, you shouldn't contribute that back to the guest, right? The woman across from me at Target is never gonna to call me an asshat or a freeloader, right? No matter what my exchange with her is. And this really isn't any different, aside from the fact that it's on the internet. So yeah, I don't know. I think that things definitely got out of hand. Things definitely went a little too far. I don't think it's irreparable. But it's certainly it's worth a discussion, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, a lot of it was in a joking tone, especially the freeloader comment. One of the developers says, the amount of people who spend is crazy low. Most of y'all are freeloaders, in parentheses, and we love that. And changing the price doesn't move the needle. So like, they were trying to make a joke out of it, but it's just not the scene. And I get that you probably think it's different because we're all tech savvy, you're talking on the internet, but it's still a separation between customer and developer. So I think lessons learned there, but again, I think that Vince did a good job at addressing it with a nice tweet there, but still defending his developers and especially some of the heinous stuff that I'm sure has been said to them.
Yeah,
people
and I think
are out of control sometimes, man.
They really are, and I think that's where it gets tricky, because there's no doubt in my mind that these guys are getting death threats or bullshit comments.
Ridiculous.
Or because the community can be very toxic and it can be very aggressive. Force Inept says, "Bleh, internet is shit, so I can't really hear anything, but I hope all is well." Thanks, Force Inept. It would be nice if you were here. Also,
we miss you, bro.
Thanks for the subscribe, Force Inept. 10 months? Wowee. That's great.
Oh my god. What a guy.
What a guy. That reminds me, we're coming up on 1 year. Whew.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Anyway, kind of lost my train of thought there, but don't be dicks. Guys, come on. The game's free. Sit down, shoot some people, have a good time. Don't attack people. It's not nice.
Completely agree.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Cyberpunk news, because I don't do transitions quite like John. Coming out of the Stadia conference right before Gamescom 2019, it was announced that Cyberpunk 2077, along with a handful of other games, are going to be coming to Stadia, which to me is super exciting. What are your thoughts here? I know you've kind of been a late adopter, if at all, to Stadia. Is this going to change your opinion at all?
Yeah, I still haven't taken a plunge, with the understanding that I recognize its value. I do see its value, more particular to someone who probably doesn't have, if I didn't have a PC, an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Switch, then I would get it. But in any case, I think this is a good move for them, right? I mean, this is another platform with one of the largest titles and this is a pedestal of gaming right here, to be launching out on Stadia is a big move. It's a big move. I'm really curious to see how something with high demanding specs like that, obviously you shouldn't see an impact on your computer, but just still curious on how that runs on Google server, however that's functioning. I'm curious to see how that'll play and handle. And then the everlasting question that you guys bring up a lot, which is cross play aspects or ways of transferring saves and shit like that. That's the only thing I'm like, we don't know yet how that works.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle that. I actually have a friend that works over at Ubisoft, and he's not able to share too much, but trying to talk to him a little bit about like what is that Uplay situation going to look like, and what is that partnership going to look like, and that sort of crossplay. The one thing I think that's really interesting here about Cyberpunk 2077 specifically, I don't know if you saw on NVIDIA GeForce Twitter page. Within the last 24 hours, they posted a couple of ray traced. Yes. Oh my goodness, these screenshots look like renders. They're incredible.
Same.
And I mean, I have a 1070. It's a decent card. It's not a fantastic card. It certainly won't do ray tracing in any way that is meaningful. So, playing something on a Stadia server that may or may not be capable of ray tracing and be able to get that sort of benefit for free, that could be pretty cool. That could really be pretty cool. Especially, I got a 60-inch TV that is 4K and it does HDR, and to sort of like get all that coming through a Chromecast, I think would be really slick. So yeah, I'm a bit excited for it.
A large benefit too is just the fact of mobility, and a game like that where I know I'm going to put in so many hours. I do admit that the benefit of playing on your TV and maybe switching to your Pixel or whatever, like that that flexibility there, that's nice. I mean, that's nice in a way that you can keep on playing. No matter if you're about to go to bed or maybe you have the whole TV to yourself and you can kind of just play out there or go to your PC. I mean, that stuff is always exciting to hear.
Yep, it's one of the reasons I love my Switch so much, is being able to play it wherever and then drop it in the dock, and then, I got to walk my dog or daughter wants to go to the park, you just pick it up and you take it with you. So I think I love that mobility aspect of where gaming is going. There were also a handful of other games announced coming to Stadia: Borderlands 3, Kine, Darksiders Genesis, Mortal Kombat 11, Superhot, Farming Simulator 19, because we're down with the farm, Samurai Showdown, Grid, which I think we talked about before, Doom Eternal, Attack on Titan 2, Final Battle, Elder Scrolls Online. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming specifically to Stadia, or coming to Stadia in conjunction with other things. So I'm very excited about that. It's coming around the corner, man. November. It's almost here.
Yeah. I mean, it was a solid lineup for sure. Borderlands 3 being another good one. And even those other ones were good handfuls of nice games to be on there for sure. I'm still just personally, I'm curious. I want to see what that initial rollout looks like and see your interpretation and John's interpretation of it off of the get-go. But I mean, still based off of Project Stream and what we did early on, I am confident in its ability.
Yeah, and I got an extra controller and a 3-month free trial, so I will get you the hookup.
What a guy.
Yeah. Speaking of hookups,
there you go.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare Alpha, surprise alpha coming to PlayStation Store this weekend. The highly anticipated Modern Warfare game that's coming out later this October, right? October 25th, I think is when it officially hits. They'll be doing a early access alpha starting this Friday, August 23rd. For PlayStation 4, and it actually will not require PlayStation Plus. So if any of you guys don't have PlayStation Plus but still want to play online with your friends, yeah, that should be some good looks. This is one of the first Call of Duty games I've been excited about in years. I platinumed Modern Warfare 2 and really haven't found much excitement in any of the rest of them that have come out. I do have, is it Black Ops 4? Whatever the one is on Battle.net, but I got that through Humble Bundle. And I've played it a little bit, but it's not super exciting. So You gonna be free for this weekend to play this?
Yeah, I think so. I'm curious, and I do want to play it. Yeah, I'm also interested, and this probably won't be the alpha, but when the game comes out, like they still again, and we're holding off on the Gamescom conversations for later on, but
Mm-hmm.
even in that, they talked about again confirming crossplay. That and they specifically said if you had somebody on console and you're playing on PC, you can party up and play. So maybe say for example, this is one that you get on PlayStation because you want to knock out the trophies on it, and I get it for PC. That we should still be able to play. So curious about that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, right? Because if there's a trophy for completing the campaign and I do it on PC and then I load up the game on PlayStation, PlayStation generally doesn't retrofit trophies, which is the same reason why you can't like download my save and then get all of those trophies. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of stuff works. But yeah, I think I'm excited for this and the crossplay. I think we're going to see much more of that over the next 12 to 18 months. It's really going to become a main staple.
I hope so. I really do.
Oh, you think about, I mean, was it a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? Maybe not even that long ago. Maybe it was closer to a year and a half ago. The conversation about cross-platform with Fortnite, and they had just started doing it with. Oh, why is that game escaping the name of me? That's what I've been trying to think of. The soccer game.
Rocket League.
Rocket League, yes. So I like that. Just a year ago, this was almost unheard of, and now it's becoming more and more staple.
Yeah, you're right about that one. I remember Rocket League did it was like so rare to hear that you can do something like that. It was crazy, and I really do hope that's what we're turning. We're kind of getting there a little bit. I mean, Xbox is doing more things with PC in itself and doing some things there. So like more things like this, we have a big title doing that. I think the more we can see it for other games in the future. So it's all good.
Agreed. All right, moving on to actually the last piece of news for the day. Sony buys Spider-Man developer Insomniac Games. This
It's big news.
It is big news, and I will tell you, I was so excited for this until the news of the Disney and Sony dispute released yesterday, and now I'm a little concernicus, to be completely frank. So, for those of you guys who haven't played, Insomniac Games made a Spider-Man game, Marvel Spider-Man, earlier late last year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was late last year.
So.
And it is phenomenal. It is absolutely incredible. The way that they captured the movement and just the fighting. It is easily the best Spider-Man game that I've ever played. Huge success. They even included the suit as an Easter egg in the Into the Spider-Verse movie, which I thought was actually pretty neat. So Sony, who has the movie rights to Spider-Man, bought up the developer studio Insomniac Games, and now presumably could take the mechanics of this and make a MCU Tom Holland type Spider-Man game using this gameplay. Not really games related, but I honestly think that there might be a little bit of connection here. Sony and Disney are actually reworking their negotiation for the movie rights. Since Sony owns the movie rights to Spider-Man and Disney, who owns Marvel, has been using Tom Holland and Spider-Man in all the Avengers, they actually are paying to use them, and then they get a cut of the movies. That renegotiation so far has not gone very well, and as of yesterday, Spider-Man has been pulled out of the MCU. However, there's still
shit.
Yeah. There are still 2 Spider-Man movies in the shoot, though, and they've announced that they are not going to slow those down with Tom Holland, which is a little weird, right? Like, he's not going to be able to reference the Avengers. He's not going to be able to reference Tony Stark. He's not going to be able to, talk about Thanos or any of that stuff that happened because that's all owned by Disney. And then think about the MCU side. Like, I just see Paul Rudd talking to Samuel L. Jackson and be like, oh man, we should get that Spider Kid, right? And then like Samuel L. Jackson just looks at the camera and be like, he's unavailable. and just walks away. Like, the audience goes, God damn it.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. It's actually been pretty cool. Jeremy Renner and Ryan Reynolds have both openly stated that, please make this shit work. We don't want to lose Spider-Man. But, hey, what up, Lampy?
What up, Lampy?
It'll be pretty cool to see. I mean, if they doesn't go back into the MCU, it'll be kind of cool to see if they do make a game centralizing around Tom Holland. I think he's the best Spider-Man to date. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still cool news though. I'm curious on what this means in terms of like what Sony can do. I mean, Insomniac has been doing some great stuff. I mean, even before that with like Ratchet and Clank and that type of stuff. Like, I'm curious to see if they can throw in another big, maybe new IP, through Sony. And I know that Sony made a statement too about like kind of like pretty much saying like Insomniac's been doing great stuff. We're gonna keep letting them kind of do great stuff. We're not here to impede upon their process.
Right. And a lot of the games that are sort of under Sony Entertainment's blanket tend to be incredibly well done narratives, the PS4, PS5 exclusives, that kind of stuff. Yep. So I'm not concerned that they're going to liquidate or anything like that. It'll just be interesting to see. And it was less interesting to me until the whole news about the MCU came out, and suddenly I'm like, oh man, there might be something here. Okay, so I think with that, we'll go into deals of the week. Apologize for a shorter news this week. John will be back this weekend, and we have all of the Gamescom stuff to talk about, which is still happening. So we're going to kind of hold those news points close to our chest. We'll put something together with John, and we will have something hopefully this weekend to talk about.
Yes.
So, deals of the week. Epic Store right now, Hyper Light Drifter and Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden are available until tomorrow, August 22nd.
Pick those up. Those are solid games. Both of those games are really good.
I haven't played either yet. I was watching the gameplay for Mutant Year Zero, and it actually looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like a XCOM. I forgot what that term is. It's a turn-based strategy. I can't remember the name of that style of game, but in any case, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think turn-based strategy might be right. Anyway, the graphics look really cool. Because I base games like a 7-year-old. And then Fez is coming to the Epic Games Store starting on Friday, August 22nd through August 29th. I think I already have this one through PlayStation.
I'm sure. I've seen that one around a lot.
Yeah. So. But yes, I do actually have this one for PlayStation. But either way, I'll pick it up. Should be a lot of fun. All right. What are you playing, Deion? Also, you guys.
Yeah.
What are you guys?
What are you guys playing? Yeah. So for me, let's see. I've been playing quite a bit of Smash this week, so that was kind of cool. Still haven't unlocked all the characters. We play so much at like John's house most of the time when we're doing it that I have had that game myself and I still haven't unlocked everybody. So it was cool. I've been working through that, and then actually I've been playing a lot of I got on this Elder Scrolls kick, and I've been playing Elder Scrolls Blades, which is the mobile app.
I played that one a little bit. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. The only pay to win type of thing is like there's a little bit of that, but it's really like the chests. Like, so if you have a chest, like a silver chest, you have to wait an hour, or you can pay to unlock it right away. Aside from that, though, they did announce that this game will be on the Nintendo Switch this fall. Yes. So I'm hoping, like, if I do some grinding on my phone here and there on the weekends, that I can just log in and then pick it up from the Switch. And I think once it's on the Switch, I think I'll like it a lot more. The controls are like a little, like, I don't know, a little wonky here and there on how you do combat, but it runs really well on my Pixel. Runs perfectly fine. So I'm looking forward to that on the Switch.
It's decent graphics too. It's like decent 3D graphics, and you're actually walking around and doing stuff. It's not like cheesy or anything. So
right, agreed.
And I think you're right. I think the Switch, you actually carry your whole game over too, so you don't lose progress or anything like that.
Yeah, you can. You can log in and it's through the cloud. So that's the part I'm like, perfect. That's what I need there.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, man. Let's see. I finished The Walking Dead on Sunday for squad mode. It was solo squad mode. I thank you.
Thanks
guys
for holding down the fort.
No problem, man. And I thank you guys for not clipping the part where I almost freaking cried at the end, because holy shit, it was so good. Oh my god, it was so good.
I'm gonna go back then, clip it.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. If you guys didn't get to watch the conclusion, please go ahead and check out the video down below while it's still available. Yeah, that whole last act was just, it was really well done. The whole studio obviously got shut down, and then they kind of came back together to sort of cram this thing out and get it out the gate. And I would have liked to have seen more expansion, but I think they did a good job wrapping everything up. But I don't feel like there was a whole lot of loose threads. So I was very happy with the way that it turned out. So been working on that, or I finished that. Final Fantasy VII HD Remake. I am done. I have 4 trophies left. Basically, I have to get to level 99. I'm level 92. I need to get 99 million gil, which is stupid.
Is there like a hacking way to get that? Like, is there some glitch somewhere if you sell something or do something?
Sort of. So there's your materia. There's one materia called the All Materia that you can sell for 1.4 million. And every time, so when you fight, you get experience points, and then you get AP, ability points, and those go towards your materia. When your materia level up to max level, it duplicates. And so basically I've just been farming all materia to get them to max level, and then trying to bank up a bunch of them, and then I'll go and sell them all.
Gotcha.
It's kind of cheesy, but it's still a big fucking grind. Still a huge grind.
Well, it's a grind.
Yeah, so working on that one, and then I got to go through and do the Date Barrett, because I messed that one up. So yeah, I'll go through and try to speed run that one. Final Fantasy VIII comes out in 2 weeks, so I will be pre-ordering that one and picking that up and kind of going through the whole thing with that as well. So that one should be a lot of fun. I'm thinking Monday for Platinum Grind, I'm going to be doing Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. It's like a 2 or 3 hour playthrough, so it should be able to do it all in one sitting. And that one should be a lot of fun.
That's a solid one.
Yeah.
Oversaturation asks, were you playing season 1? You're playing the final season, correct?
Right. I just beat the last season. So I had previously beat seasons 1, 2, and 3. This was the final. They call it the final chapter of the final season. So that's the one that I just beat here. Though I do want to kind of go back now and play through them all. There's this nice little, like, I don't know, this kind of circular thing, right? So in the beginning, you play as Lee, and Lee has this young girl that she finds in a treehouse named Clementine, and then by the end of it, you're playing as Clementine with this young boy, and you're trying to teach him the ways of the world. And so it was very nice little circular thing. So cool. What about you, Lampy? Oversaturation? What are you guys playing?
Yeah, let us know. I don't know what's next for me, man. I've been hopping around a lot in different games. Fire Emblem still. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah, that one's been taking a lot of time. I bet you that John has been playing that as well.
Probably.
During his traveling. I feel like that's an instant go-to, right?
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here today on the news. Anything else you have?
Nope, that's it. It's a quick one, but stay tuned, and soon we will kind of give you our whole thoughts and recap off of Gamescom, what our favorite parts were, least favorite parts, all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll put that all together for you guys. So thank you so much for joining us. As always, please check out our Discord down below so you guys can be on top of the latest and greatest of what we're playing, what we're doing, where we're going. But this has been This Week in Gaming. I've been Sregge, and you guys have been awesome. And until next time, you stay salted. Bye.
Bye, guys.